Right. Do you recognise this? I mean, please say you do.
If you don't, we're in trouble. It's Doctor Who, of course. And the woman who arranged this classic music back in the early 60s, Delia, Derbyshire, is being celebrated in her home city of Coventry ahead of the new series we've been talking about, which starts in, what, a couple of weeks?
Yeah, in a couple of weeks. And you can't imagine, can you, what a sound that must have been at the time.
Yeah.
How ahead of its time it was. It's absolutely brilliant still. We'll be talking about that later in the programme. We want to know from you, though, this morning, which TV themes are your favourite? John and I had a bit of a chat about ones that we love yesterday. This is my one, John. Have a listen, see if you recognise it. Do you recognise it now? The words are up as well. Can you read?
I've hidden the words just to challenge me a little more.
Like, that was the music that if I heard it, I think it was on Wednesdays and Fridays, I was giddy. Yeah, the days of the week that it was on, yeah.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Yeah, well, that's separate, actually.
Yeah, was it? This is my favourite. This takes me back to, well, 70s.
Classic, John. I also absolutely love that. It's like a comfort blanket, knowing that my dad listened to it for decades and now my son listens to it every week. It's lovely. It's just part of national life, that one, isn't it?
I'm just back. It's Saturday night. It's the 70s. I can hear it downstairs and I want to stay up, but I'm not allowed. Yeah, it's amazing how those tunes...
Does the wife still not let you stay up?
Yes, I'm in bed way before then. But the Sunday morning as well now. That's good.
Now, there's a new series of Doctor Who starting later this month, and one of the key figures in the programme's success is being celebrated in her home city of Coventry.
We are talking about Delia, Derbyshire, because back in 1963, it was Delia who arranged the show's famous theme tune. It's excited, terrified generations of fans ever since. Our reporter, Kevin Reid, remembers.
It's probably the most familiar British TV theme ever, and it was Coventry woman Delia Derbyshire who created the unusual and enduring sound while she worked at the BBC's experimental studios known as the Radiophonic Workshop.
These particular pictures we can record on this machine here.
And now, more than half a century on, she's finally getting the recognition many believe she deserves with the Delia Derbyshire building. Coventry University has equipped it with the latest in production technology with industry-standard studios.
Now that you've got all this digital technology at your disposal, it's nice to be able to go, look what you can do with a turntable, with a reel-to-reel machine, and literally a loop of tape and just a sense of adventure.
Broadcaster Stuart Maconie has made documentaries and written about Delia, and he's been brought in to host the launch.
The rediscovery and celebration of her work over the last decade or so is fantastic. It shows we've come on a lot. There's a lot of work still to be done, but she'd be delighted and really proud, I think, as a proud Coventryite, Cov kid, you know, to be honoured in this way by her hometown.
It's fitting, too, that the new building is a stone's throw from some of her childhood inspirations.
She heard the sound of the Blitz and inspired her love of sound. I mean, I know it's a weird thing to say, but she says those air raid sirens that she heard and the noises woke her up to a world of extreme sonic effects. And so Coventry's in her DNA, yeah.
Delia is often cited as a major influence on electronic music, and her legacy is not being forgotten, at least here in Coventry.
We've got an amazing building with amazing facilities for our students, with studios for immersive AR, VR practice, 360 motion capture, 360 sound, film studio, photography studio. You know, Delia was a pioneer in her field. She used innovation and creative technologies creatively to push the boundaries of what music could be. It's exactly what we want our students to be able to do.
Oh, and just fascinating that she heard those sounds from the Blitz as a child, and then that influenced her music later on. It's interesting.
And now you can hear that, can't you, when you hear it?
Yeah.
Loads of you have been getting in touch this morning, not just about Doctor Who, but about other famous favourite TV theme tunes. Colette's been in touch. She says this was her fave. Oh.
Wow, wow, wow. Remember that one?
Yeah. Yeah,
Grange Hill, of
Grange
course.
Hill, love it. That's back from school.
Yeah.
Cup of tea, bag of crisps. Remember the sausage that comes in?
Where is it? I remember, yeah, the PE teacher.
There,
I was
here it
gonna
comes.
say, there's the
Yay! There we go.
Well remembered. What about this one, though? This is Eve's pick. I wouldn't have been able to recollect this one independently. Here it is. Have a listen. Oh, yeah, there we go. High energy electric guitar. That's Noel's house party, of course. It reminds me of coming in from work on a Saturday evening and feeling like the weekend has started. She said it was lovely to have something fun and entertaining to watch.
Loads of you getting in touch. Deborah says Black Beauty. That was a classic as well, isn't it? On a tea time. It was the sound, she said, of the weekend.
Go on, sing it, John.
Da, da, da. You know, it's a good theme tune. Literally, that's the one.
Is it
Yeah,
that one?
yeah.
On the beach.
Well, it was like running everywhere, galloping through forests, everything. It's when you can recognise it by literally
by
a couple
couple
of beats.
of bars,
You know. Thanks for all your messages this morning. We were asking about your favourite TV theme tunes as we celebrated the lady Delia Derbyshire, who created the Doctor Who theme tune all those years ago, back in the 60s.
You said your favourite was Match of the Day because...
I think it just takes me back to Saturday nights, like in the 70s. But also I was remembering All Creatures Great and Small.
I can't remember that one.
Oh, yeah, it's brilliant. Loads of you have been in touch with yours. Ian says he loved the opening of Some Mothers Do Have 'Em. He says it's one of the best comedy programmes ever. Let's hear it, shall we? If you're just tuning in, BBC One isn't showing repeats all morning, this bank holiday morning. Yeah, but it's classic. I mean, you can't imagine a tune like that being on a show these days, can you?
No, nice and simple.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Robert says The Archers was a favourite in his household since Radio 4 programme began in the 1950s. He says he fondly remembers sitting with his family. Let's have a little listen. Singing and tapping along to the theme on the dining table. And this, for me, if I'm listening to Radio 4 in the evening, it's like, right, we've listened to the news, we're on top of things, it's time to wind down for the evening ahead when the Archers music
You're on top of things
comes
in your house at 7 o'clock in the evening? Marjorie
Theoretically.
says a Sunday evening classic for her is this one.
You can almost smell the Sunday roast, can't you, when you hear the Antiques Roadshow
Hours
music?
after you cooked it.
Have a little snooze on the sofa.
Antiques Roadshow, Fiona Bruce and a little beetle running across the countryside.
Lovely.
Loads of you have been in touch. I mean, so many. Something Hawaii 5-0.
Of course,
That's a classic, isn't it? Somebody talking about the Muppet Show.
Yeah.
The Muppet Show. Yeah, there's loads and loads and loads. Thank you for all of those. Twin Peaks, that's a good one. Postman Pat.
Maybe been overexposed to Postman Pat. It was Biker Grove for me, but I will save you me doing the impression again.